What can you say about words? What's the first thing that comes to your mind when I ask you about that?
Yeah, then I think of the Bible, of the Epistle of John. The first word is, in the beginning was the Word. And I think words are very, very important. And we live much more on words and the meaning of words than we think of. So I see this in the psychosomatic medicine, the, the words of the language, and also what the body is expressing in his own language with symptoms and feelings and whatsoever. They come together, it's a really good, both are really good tools to find out what is behind the symptoms, behind the illnesses. So this is, you asked in the beginning for the basis of my work. It's just to find out what the patient is missing in his life. So in German, we ask directly, what are you missing? Was fehlt Ihnen?
Mm-hmm.
And the patients answer with what they have, their symptoms. And then they use the language of their body, but they express it with their language, with their words. And sometimes they are really, really very honest, even more honest than what the mind is putting out, because the mind wants to be respected and yeah, be wonderful in a way, but the body language is really, really very honest. And to find out what is behind the symptoms is very, very meaningful for me, because I think that behind every symptom in the body or in the soul, on the soul level, or every problem in life, behind this is shadow aspects which couldn't express in the conscious mind, and then they sank to what Carl Gustav Jung, the Swiss therapist, called the shadow, the unconscious. And if I want to bring them up again, because we think that the shadow is our really, really most important energy reservoir. Yeah, it's like something really, really precious, and we have to bring it up. So much energy is blocked in the shadow. And so you find behind every symptom a principle, or sometimes more principles. For example, if you look at a disease as cancer, there's also a part is aggression. The growth is aggressive in cancer, but it's also the principle of growth. That's a different stage of life. And then there is aspect of self-destruction, another principle of life. So you have three of these principles. And our task as doctors, therapists, is to help people to bring this principle from the destructive way to the constructive way, from the unsolved to a solved way. For example, with the aggression, this is in the body, on the body level, this is a bad thing, because the immune system is fighting these germs or viruses or bacteria or whatsoever. And you, in this war, you lose a lot of energy. Maybe there's even fever, and then with every degree of fever, the immune system's power grows, but it takes you a lot of energy out of your system. So it's good to bring this fighting energy from the body level to the consciousness level, that you can confront these things and you fight your battles on a mind level much better than to fight them on the body level with the immune system against the bacteria or the viruses. So if you have disease, or you look at a disease like cancer, of course, you have also find a better way for this growth energy to express itself. You can grow also on the consciousness level. You can grow from your heart energy. You can grow in a social way. You can grow on a spiritual basis. So And also this self-destructing of the third level or principle, it's a very bad thing, like suicide is self-destruction, of course, but it's also the energy of complete change, of metamorphosis. So deep change, or what the Greek called metanoia, to really be sorry about what happened and you change it all. So to understand things, we need the opposition. I can feel only small if others are taller. I can feel only rich if others are not so rich, they are poor. So I need this opposition. And this is law of polarity. And if with the two sides of a thing, if I am very much for the one side and very much against the other side, this other side sinks to the shadow and then becomes a problem or a symptom, and I had to get it out of the shadow again, as I said before, and to bring it to a constructive level. So polarity is the first law of polarity, then the law of resonance, of affinity, and then the law of the beginning. All these laws are now proved scientifically. Yeah, I think one of my most powerful seminars I give is a 9-day fasting with completely silence, completely fasting, and sitting in a sort of Zen meditation, Zazen. And after 9 days of fasting, complete silence, and just sitting and looking or being a witness of your breathing process, you are completely different, and a lot of important things happen in people. And if you do a breath session with a connecting breathing after 9 days of fasting, silence, and sitting, there are really impressive results up to unity experiences. Yeah, there's a big difference. I mean, now we are on a conscious level talking about things more or less intellectual. If you go to the subconscious level, this is reachable for us. Yeah, if I make you a guided imagery, so you can go a little bit deeper and we can go to the subconsciousness. To the unconscious, it's much more difficult. You can use techniques like breath therapy and to break into that. These deep levels, the unconscious, this is what Carl Gustav Jung called the archetype level. Yeah, this is the collective, he called it the collective unconscious. But also the Indian people, the Hindus, call it the Akasha chronic.